Otis College of Art and Design presents How Line Works. With me, Roni Feldman. Line is one of the fundamental tools of drawing. It defines edges and helps direct the eye through a composition. This video will give you an introduction as to how line works and how you can transform it to meet your needs. There are 4 aspects of line that we shall begin with: size, speed, direction, and scale. Size is simply how long or short a line is. When we refer to a line's speed, we do not mean that the line is actually moving like an electrocardiogram, but rather that your eyes are moving over it. Some lines may feel like they move your eyes faster than others. This is called tracking. Our eyes will track in the simplest, clearest possible direction. They will take shortcuts and seek out patterns whenever possible. Here you can see that a continuous line can actually feel more like a bunch of closed shapes than a line. Even when the shapes are a little bit open, your eyes will do the simplest thing and track across the opening, in effect, closing off the shape in our minds. By opening these curves, continuous tracking will be possible. Direction is simply the direction we perceive the line to be tracking. Whether this line is going up or down depends upon the format. It may depend upon its position on the page and the direction it is viewed from. A line has an axis. An axis is the primary point where a line changes direction. A line may waver, but it still has an overall implied axis. Here are several examples of axes on different types of lines. Scale is how wide or thick a line is. This line may look like a rectangle close up, but if it was longer, and we saw it at a distance on a billboard, it could look like a thin line. Once again, format and context are important to our understanding. There are 4 types of line that we will explore here: curved, angled, bent, and straight. Here are some examples of curved lines. A curved line has a curved axis. It can be thin, wide, or S-curved. An angled line has an angled axis, implying a sharp change in direction. They can have an acute, obtuse, or right-angled axes. They can also go in a Z shape, or combine these different angles together to form a more complex line. As always, the line will always have a primary axis. Here are some examples of bent lines. A bent line has a bent axis that essentially looks like a combination of angled and curved lines. The axis is curved, but extends out straight in each direction. Just like angled lines, there are acute, obtuse, and right bends. A straight line has a straight axis. You can use a ruler to make it as straight as possible. It is important to understand that curved, angled, and bent lines can also imply a straight axis, if that is how our eyes track it. Sometimes an implied shape can make a line feel straight. It is very important to be aware of how your eye is actually tracking, and how you can change your line to get your audience to track the way you intend them to, so you can effectively construct compositions and meaning. You can create lines with a wide variety of criteria. You can make them simple, complex, regular, irregular, change from simple to complex, wavy, have a repeating pattern, increasing or decreasing hills or valleys, and more. As always, refine your line until they do the job you require of them.